Zide Studios is back with another episode. A fascinating topic called architecture and cinema will be discussed today. It is no secret that art direction is crucial to the success of a film. It is the setting of a particular scene that enhances the dialogue and actions of characters in a movie. During today's post, we will take a look at some examples of films in which space and architecture are very effectively used to convey storylines. This will include movies from Malayalam, national and international films where architectural design plays a prominent role. Share in the comments more such films you think are appropriate for this topic. Without further ado, let's begin. Manichithrathazhu. The movie was primarily shot in three locations: Hill Palace in Kochi, the Padmanabhapuram Palace near Thiruvananthapuram, and at film producer S.S. Vasan's house in Chennai. Even though the single-line narrative of the movie began from the concept of Chathaneral, a phenomenon of stone pelting that existed in the olden days in Kerala, the story in itself was inspired from another architectural edifice named Alamuttil Meda, an ancient Tharavada traditional house located at Muttam on the Nangiyarkulangara Mavelikara road. The brutal murder of the Karanavan, the head of the family, and the servant that happened in this house became the initial thread for writer Madhu Muttam to create characters of Shankaran Thambi and Nagavelli. Some would even say that the room where the murders took place would remind visitors of its similarities with the scenes in Manichithrathazhu. It was at producer S.S. Vasan's house in Chennai that director Fasil finally found those two adjacent rooms where Shankaran Thambi and Nagavelli lived. The art department has done a fantastic job in creating the eerie ambience of those rooms with old paintings of Nagavelli and Shankaran Thambi, ancient artifacts covered with cobwebs, old musical instruments, and traditional wooden furniture pieces. Most of the outdoor and majority of the indoor scenes were shot in Hill Palace, with the exception of climax and the song Oru Murai Vandu Parthayo, which was shot in Padmanabhapuram Palace. The movie is indeed one of the all-time classics of Malayalam cinema. The art and music of the movie still very much connects with the audience, but one of the most underrated aspects of the movie are the magnificent locations in which the masterpiece storyline became a reality. For the sheer architectural marvel those structures are, I believe they deserve their due recognition as well. Home. In this movie, 80% of the story happens in the setting of a home. The director says in one of his interviews that how he ended up selecting this particular house as his location for the shoot. He wanted an open house plan where the characters of the movie can interact with each other without closed or claustrophobic spaces, making it an inviting space for the audience to be in. The dining area is the space where most of the families have their primetime discussions on topics on and around the globe. It's no different in home. The director skillfully uses space for showing the emotional connect each character has with each other. The A-frame structure on the upper level serves as a perfect setting for a character like Anthony, played by Srinath Bhasi, an architect turns filmmaker trying to find his path for his script. The roof garden, the bright colors and the lush green outdoors all add to the homeliness of the place. Home is a fantasy come feel-good film, and both these aspects are perfectly captured by the house and its premises. Bahubali, the beginning and conclusion. The grandeur depicted in every scene of Bahubali captivates viewers. A design as unique as Mahishmati is beyond anything we have seen. Unlike any intricate details we usually see in ancient structures, it is breathtakingly beautiful. All the structures of all kingdoms shown are of exquisite beauty and well guarded. In terms of rituals, war strategies and attire, Bahubali draws inspiration from the Indian Itihasa and Purana. While it is difficult to capture everything about ancient life in a movie, this attempt has been significant. We would find it interesting and relevant at this point to understand the design of cities, governance structures, and security measures outlined in our Itihasa and Purana. The inspiration from cities from our mythologies like Ayodhya, Dwaraka, Indraprastha, etc. are evident in the production design. As far as incorporating Indian architecture in movies are concerned, we can say without any doubt that Bahubali series has taken the bar to the next level. Jodha Akbar. The astounding reimaginings of what Akbar period sites such as Agra's Red Fort or Fatehpur Sikri might have looked like after being fully outfitted and occupied will surely delight anyone who has visited such sites. For the film, palaces and forts were reportedly replicated in Mumbai to give the film the sense of the place and period. The film, which reportedly cost $10 million, is arguably one of the most spectacular films India has made. Nitin Desai, who had done the set design for the film, did a phenomenal job of recreating the interiors of Amer Fort. He also created an exact replica of Agra Fort, along with Diwani Am, Diwani Khas, Jodha Mahal, and the fully landscaped Mughal gardens. A set which measured 1600 by 600 by 68 feet was as huge as a 7th-floor building. The materials used were concrete, fiber, asbestos sheets, scaffolding, and pipes to create the whole structure. About his work, Nitin says, "It's like creating a real city where you can come and visit." In terms of subject matter, Jodha Akbar is more atmospheric in nature with breathtaking cinematography. Inception. To plant a seed of an idea deep within someone's mind, the protagonist and his team uses dream as a vehicle and architecture as the medium to reach their desired goal. The dreamscape designed by these architects for every level of the heist changes with each level and becomes complex as they move forward with their plan. These puzzles created with architectural built environments within their dreams become hideout for them from the threats projected by the subconscious mind. The higher the complexity of the built environment, the longer can they hide from the projections. In this first introduction to the world, Inception was advertised as a film set within the architecture of the mind. The film spends its time dealing with and manipulating architecture, notably the city folding onto itself, the meticulous designing and constructing of different spaces, and so on. The film even features an architect character. Ariadne is a graduate student recruited by Cobb, who is responsible for designing complex spaces. In a literal sense, Christopher Nolan puts the power of the film in the architect's hand. Like a screenwriter, an architect is responsible for the initial blueprint and structure. Christopher Nolan has stated that he was inspired by the works of Dutch graphic artist M.C. Escher, who designed impossible objects and optical illusions. In a sequence that features the Penrose Steps, he explores the concept of paradoxical architecture. The Penrose Steps, also known as the Impossible Staircase, was originally conceived by Lionel Penrose and his son Roger Penrose in 1958. The Penrose Steps are a two-dimensional depiction of a staircase which forms a continuous loop. It's an architectural concept that can exist in 2D but not 3D. In the film, Arthur introduces Ariadne to the concept of the Penrose Steps and explains that she must create tricks within the architecture that she designs for the dream world. Christopher Nolan's deep interest for architecture is well known, but it's his 2010 film Inception that is his most architectural film. Squid Game. The art director Sean Kyun-sung designed each of the sets with layered metaphors. The design of Dome was developed from a warehouse store concept where people are stacked like objects on one another. Staircases were inspired by M.C. Escher's famous relativity lithograph. The first arena and the doll both designed to make the players feel small and literally childlike, a theme that continues throughout Squid Game's other arenas. The waiting area of the contestants before Game 3 and 4 is notable for its complete absence of color. The gleaming white hall looks like it could have been designed by a well-known star architect, its curving walls and cool lighting echoing the interiors of Zaha Hadid's Heather Aliyev Center or Santiago Calatrava's World Trade Center Path Station. The tug-of-war room, the alleyway or marble village, the glass bridge all account for an immersive experience as if the audience themselves are moving through those spaces. Squid Game forms a compelling case study in how architecture can be designed to elicit a wide range of emotions from nostalgia and joy to unease and terror.